Violet's bed. Petrakos wrapped one of Violet's pink, fluffy towels around his waist. He saw himself in the bathroom mirror. Weathered, sun-darkened skin, his eyes hidden behind wrinkles he forgot he had. He smiled as he looked in the mirror, forgetting he was an old man. Smiled at the enormous woman in the bed. Violet was about 300 pounds. He'd never been with a woman that big before. When he was a younger man, he left a woman for getting fat. Violet was twice her size. She slept in the big bed, her huge breasts rising and falling as she slept with a smile on her face. She looked like one of those babies in a picture, eyes closed, plump hands folded under her head, smiling sweetly. When he asked her to dinner, she laughed and said, "Where are you taking me?" When he told her, she said, "Give me the $20 and I'll give you exactly what you're hankering for." He shook his head as he returned to the bed and said out loud, "What you're hankering for." He was as nervous as a kid when he got to her place, looking at the ground, tense, almost shaking. She greeted him at the door with a sweet, soft kiss. A kiss like she missed him, like she wanted him. And that sweetness progressed to hot hands shaking, grasping, pulling, unzipped pants, lips, sweat, and the feeling that he was a young man again. And the whole time, he didn't think of Marie, not once. Violet made him forget what the years couldn't, what programs and willfulness and alcohol couldn't. This fat woman, her smirk, her flesh hunger, her hands that flipped a switch in him so he could let go, so that he could live again. With her body, she let him know that it was going to be okay. He got into Violet's bed and just exhaled. He just smiled sweetly without Marie, without his sadness, with this huge woman beside him. The miracle of Violet's sex, so different. That violet smell, her body, her smiling invitation to instant gratification. The seconds, the minutes, the hours of sex, like sex was a flavor in an ice cream shop. He didn't know why he stayed the night. He wasn't invited. When they were done, it was late. She just rolled over and said, "Sweetheart, you can lock the door behind you when you leave, okay?" He got up in the darkness and walked naked to the door and locked it. Returned to whisper to a half-asleep Violet, "Can I stay?" Her response, "Sure, baby, sure thing." He climbed into bed under safe white down comforters with cashmere bouquet smells, dried roses in glass bottles on her bedside, and her. As he drifted off to sleep, he said the first prayer he ever said in his life. Thank God for fat girls, easy and hungry for strangers. Thank God for flirting, for our bodies, for sweat, for forgetting our sadness in a moment with kisses and human touch. Thank God for strangers who say yes. He didn't love Violet. She didn't love him. He probably would never see her again. But he wasn't thinking about Marie. He wasn't missing Marie. Not that night. Not at all.